Hello love, this is Valerie love, and this video is about a tarot experiment. Now here's my tarot deck. This is the deck I play with every day. This is my own personal tarot deck. It's Rider-Waite. No one else touches this deck. If anybody put their fingers on it, it probably would fry, burst into flames. Because this is the deck that I work with myself every morning. This morning I pulled the Lover's card. That's what my spirit was giving me today. Every day I pull a card from the tarot. I have full moon rituals I do with this deck. Oh, this deck. Oh my. Full of power. There is probably not another book on the planet that is like the Book of Tarot and what the tarot brings to us. So here's a tarot experiment that I tried. I'm always doing these different tarot experiments for for transformation, for soul evolution, for transformation, for really getting in there in consciousness and shifting and moving things out of the way that that I don't want to be there anymore, and embracing things that I do want to be there anymore, and expanding consciousness. Tarot is good for all of that. So this is an experiment that I tried, and I'm going to offer it to you, and it is powerful. So these are the three things that you need for this tarot experiment. It's sort of, let's call it a tarot spell, okay? Let's call it a spell. Because a spell is what? It's simply a mixture or a combination, an integration of ingredients in addition to incantations, ritual practices that we do, that we create to get a desired result. What's the result? Usually, the result is usually that you want to be differently somehow, think differently, feel differently, so that you can experience a different outer manifestation. Maybe a new relationship, maybe more money in the bank, maybe a beautiful new home, whatever you're creating with your spell. So let's call it a spell, shall we? And there are three ingredients you're going to need for this spell. So you need your tarot deck, and I would offer that you do a dedicated tarot deck. So get the tarot deck that's dedicated only for you. Never let anyone else touch it. The other day I was at the DC Tarot Society. Shout out to the DC Tarot Society. Love y'all. Anywho, I was at the DC Tarot Society, and here we were. The meeting starts at 12:30, and on the flyer, on the email, it says 12:30 to 4:30. And so we kind of chuckle at that because we know that we can go on and on and on. So I wind up leaving there at about 8 o'clock. So we were there for about 7.5 hours, 12:30 to about 8 o'clock, hanging out in Crystal City, Virginia. It was great because the tornado came through and that blew on by. It's all consciousness. Isn't that interesting? So while we were there, we were talking about becoming tarot masters, and what constitutes a tarot slut, a tarot reader who has more than 10 decks. And I guess if you have more than 25 tarot decks, just complete tarot whore. That's beautiful. You just love to be with all these different decks. Isn't that wonderful and lovely? Anyhow, I would recommend for this spell that you have one dedicated deck that you work with. Pick one of your decks, personal deck, and you're going to work with this, and you're going to work with this for 100 days. That's the nature, that's the length of time that you're going to work this tarot spell. 100 days. Now, I'm going to show you what it looks like. The next thing that you're going to need after you have your tarot deck dedicated only to you, buy a new one if you want to. That would be perfect. Buy a brand new tarot deck for this particular tarot spell. Next, get a beautiful new tarot journal. This is mine. Do you love her or what? Is this an amazing journal? Look at that. Look at that. Can you get a good look at that? I mean, this thing has got all kinds of stuff going on. Look at this woman. Wow. I think she's a fairy. She's got the feathers working. Let me get a close-up. Oh, love that. Look at that. Look at that detail. Look at the feathers flying from her hair. Look at I think that we got feathers. We got, oh my goodness, look at the, wow. Is that amazing? She's blended into the ocean. Look at the butterflies. You know, the butterflies are big for me because these are my totem. This is the totem and the elephant. The butterfly and the elephant are my totem in this lifetime. So here you got the butterflies on it. Is that an amazing journal or what? So get your journal. That's the second thing you're going to need. So I've been keeping this tarot journal. And today is September 12th. And this tarot journal I started on May 11th. You might be able to see that, 5/11/12. So I'm past my 100-day mark. So I can attest to the validity and the potency of what I'm getting ready to show you. Very powerful. Next, the third ingredient for this tarot spell that you're going to need is this book. OMG. Can I say that again? OMG. This book is amazing. This one, it's called Around the Tarot in 78 Days, A Personal Journey Through the Cards by Marcus Katz and Tally Goodwin. This book, can I just say something about this book? This book is so good. And you know what? I have a lot of tarot books. A lot of tarot books. And each of the books serve a different purpose. And each of the books help me in a wonderful way. This book is right up there in the top. This is the top. Now, I tell you my number one all-time favorite tarot book. I'll do that in another video. This one is right really close to that other one that I'm going to do another video on. So the third ingredient that you need in the spell is this book. Hop on over to half.com or hop on over to tarosophy.com. Tarosophy, hey, friends at tarosophy.com. T-A-R-O. Please let me spell it correctly. I'll look it up for you. I'll put a link under this video too. Tarosophy, I believe it is, tarosophy.com. It's also on Facebook. So there's a Facebook group for tarot professionals that I belong to as well. So I saw on one of my tarot buddies on Facebook, this book was coming out, and that if you got the book and if you went through the classes and programs, the program that they were going to, that you could get the free online course and you could get certified by getting the book and going through the process. And that was a gift for getting the book. And I thought, that's great. So I did. I got the book. Now, I'm going to be truthful. When I got the book, I didn't expect the book to be that great or groundbreaking. I was more getting the book for the goodies. I'm just telling the truth. You know, you make a juicy bonus, people are going to go for it because, hey, the bonus looks good and juicy. Well, I got a double blessing. Because I got the bonus, plus I got this book. And how I love this book. I love this book. Here's what you're going to do every day for the next 100 days in this tarot spell. You are going to peel back your consciousness and you're going to map your consciousness on the tree of life. What does it look like? Well, in this book, on page 11, there is a picture of the tree of life. Very, very, very clear picture of the tree of life. Now, what I love about this particular map of the tree of life in this book is that it has all the tarot correspondences on it, and that is all of the tarot correspondences, the aces, all the way up through the kings, the majors and the minors. They're all mapped on the spheres of the tree of life, and the pathways between the spheres. Each path represents an energetic and an ascension and consciousness. And when you do your path working with the tree of life, ooh, amazing. This is what you're going to do. Every day, you're going to wake up in the morning, you're going to do your prayer and your meditation. After prayer meditation, it's very important to do your prayer meditation first before you embark on this spell. And the reason why is because when you do your prayer meditation, it takes you into an ascended consciousness. Therefore, the card that you will pull will more likely be the card that speaks to you from a higher place in consciousness. If you don't do it and you just kind of wake up and roll out of bed and pick a card, it could be like about doing laundry that day. Because your thoughts are just kind of scattered, and you haven't ascended your consciousness to that place where you're clearly in commune with the highest, most holy self. So, you're going to pray and meditate each morning. Now, in this spell, do it every day at the same time. So let's say for the next 100 days, I will wake up at 4 a.m., I will meditate for an hour, and then at 5 a.m. I will do my tarot spell. This is what you're going to do. After prayer meditation, you're going to hold your deck in your hand. And I always say hold it in the non-dominant hand. Hold your deck in the non-dominant hand, which is, for me, the left hand. Hold your deck in the non-dominant hand, and you're going to gently shuffle, with the intention to work your consciousness, to peel back your consciousness, and to work the pathways of the tarot, of the Kabbalistic tree of life. So we are here integrating Kabbalah and tarot. They're beautiful systems for integration because there are so many correspondences. And so this works perfectly. And so you're going to simply shuffle your deck, and when that one appropriate card makes itself known to you, which it will every morning, trust me on this one, it may pop out. It may kind of edge its way out. It will make itself known to you every morning. When that card makes its way known to you, you take the card, set the deck aside, back where it was, on your altar, I would recommend. And then what you do is take about 5 minutes to meditate on the card. So you're going to meditate on the card. You're going to look at what's on the card, and you're meditating on it in a new and different way. Then you're going to take the card, and you're going to record it in your journal. So here, what you see what I do here. Okay, so let's go to today. Today is September the 12th. We're up to in my journal. So here, let's go to September 12th. All right. We've got September 12th. And here you see what I wrote is the Lovers. I've got the Lovers. I put 2 little hearts there. And then it's key number 6. Yay, I love that. That's a beautiful card. And then what I do is I write a couple of words that come to me. Play words that come to me. Because as soon as you see the Lovers, a word comes to you. So I play with that word, and you really can carry that word with you all day. And you're carrying the energy of the Lovers with you all day. And you're open now to seeing what is going to manifest, what's unfolding for you with the Lovers. Next, this is the third part of the spell, and this is where it gets really interesting. You're going to take a pen, and you're going to put a little dot on that card on this Kabbalistic tree of life. So you're going to open the book to page 11. You're going to take a pen, and you're not going to make a huge mark. You're simply going to find the Lovers on the tree of life, and you're going to put a little dot right there next to the Lovers. Now, after you do this for about 10 or 15 or 20 or even 30 days, a pattern will begin to unfold itself before your very eyes. Now, as I can tell you, I've been in this spell for a little over 100 days. Over 100 days I've done this. And I'm going to show you the pattern of the dots. And it was mind-blowing for me. I've never seen anything like this before. Peel back the consciousness. Look very closely. Now, do you see my dots? You see it, how each time I got a queen, I put a dot there. You see? Let me point to this appropriately. All right, let me get a little closer. There we go. Each time I got an ace, a dot went in. All the cards, a dot. Now, I want you to notice something. Look at the middle sphere. We call that Tiferet. It's the sphere of the heart, right here in the center. This beautiful sphere. Look how much energy, let's see if I can draw this back a little bit. Look how much energy in my consciousness is focused around that sphere, around that area of my life. Is that amazing or what? You can actually map what your consciousness looks like on the tree of life. Let's move down. So there's a whole bunch of dots on here. Whole bunch of dots. But I will tell you that most of the dots are focused right in this area. Right here. Do you see that? Lots of activity right here. So you really get to see what your consciousness is about. And not a lot of energy focused on the outer. And look how much is focused down here as well. Let me get this a little clearer for you. Look at that. Down here, the tens and the pages. And I've got a lot of night activity. Look at all the nights. You're about doing, going out, conquering the world. Is that powerful or what? So what I want to encourage you to do is map your consciousness on the tree of life. And what you're going to find out after this 100-day spell, you are going to find out exactly where your consciousness is focused on the tree of life. Now, once you have that very vital information, you can then go and study that particular sphero on the tree of life, and you can find out a tremendous amount of information about yourself, your life, what's going on, how you're thinking, how you're feeling, how you're being. It's like pulling back your, the covering on something, discovering yourself. Dis meaning get rid of, cover. You discover yourself. Is that amazing or what? Try the tarot spell and then come back and put in a comment here. Almost forgot what I was asking you for. A comment. So we can talk about it. We got to get this dialogue going and map yourself on the tree of life and then let me know what you get. And then we go to the next level, yes? I'll be back in a little bit to talk about my favorite tarot book of all time. Love ya. Love ya. Valerie Love, liveyourdestinytoday.com today. Tomorrow's tomorrow. Don't do it tomorrow. Do it today. And the important thing is that you are living your destiny. No one can live your destiny for you. That's for you to do. No one can live your destiny for you. Live your destiny today. Discover yourself today. And get inspired today. Yes? Live big today. Because tomorrow's not promised to you. I love you. Be blessed. Mwah.